Sammy asked me to speak about what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail, because that simple question changed my life beyond recognition. In a previous life, I did sales for 16 years. I was responsible for £40 million worth of sales accountability at the end. And the interesting thing about that journey was I started working in hotels as a general assistant, and I was absolutely clear within 5 years I was going to do sales, which entertained the management at the hotel. Within 5 years, I did do sales, and I overheard somebody saying about me, the thing about Lisa, she's got the willingness to learn and the determination to succeed. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to bank those two beliefs. And those two beliefs have stuck with me and enabled me to achieve so much, even when I thought, can I really do this? And I thought, I can. I've got the willingness to learn and the determination to succeed. What more does a girl need? Doing sales in that way really set me up great for running my own business. I knew if I always do what I've always done, I'll always have what I've always had. So my future would look pretty much like my past. And for me, life is about adventure. It's not just about making money, it's about living life as well. I knew that when the company refinanced, that was my time to do something different. And I read a book, and I was on the train reading it, and it was a Fiona Harold book, The 10-Minute Life Coach. I thought, I can do that. And this one question, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I brainstormed all of these things with a rather large glass of wine. It was working with people, it was helping them believe in themselves even more. It was helping companies grow. It was working on a formal basis and an informal basis. And once I brainstormed the whole lot of what I'd be doing every day, I thought, what is that called? And it turned out it was coaching, it was NLP, and it was hypnosis, and I trained with the best in the world. So I set up my own business, and at the time, the company I worked for, Paramount, offered me, you can work for us part-time, Lisa, and I knew some of them were thinking, well, they actually said, she'll never make it, but she'll be back. I didn't want to be 50% in one camp and 50% in the other. I wanted to really go for it. So I thought, what can I do that will help people believe in themselves without a shadow of a doubt that they can do anything their heart desires? And the obvious came to mind. I'll become a firewalking instructor. Quite a few years ago, I did the National Three Peaks, and we're halfway up Ben Nevis, and I'm struggling, and I'm right at the back. And so we kept having Lisa stops, and I heard three of them chatting to each other because I was suffering. It's not easy. I was suffering. And I heard them say, she's never going to make it. She's never going to make it. Which three do you think didn't do all three mountains? The three that were focused on me failing. Now, their focus was on failure. It didn't matter that it was about somebody else. Their focus was on failing, and they failed. And that kind of does correlate to how we look at other businesses. If we spend too much time looking at other businesses that are going bust, then where is our attention? It's going in the same direction. But interestingly, I held on to the beliefs that work for me. Because I wasn't the fittest person in the group, but I believed that if I start a mountain, I'm finishing it. So I kind of wanted to share that story with you so that you recognise where is your focus and attention. And often our minds are talking about what we don't want. And we don't notice it, because 90% of our thinking takes place unconsciously. So just become aware of your thoughts, because your thoughts create your feelings and then your actions. We set these wonderful goals for ourselves and we think, oh yeah, I'm going to do it, and these are the actions that I'm going to do to take it. And then you find, this is in general life, not on a firewalk, then you find that, oh, well, it wasn't really for me. And all these excuses show up, all these reasons not to do it show up. And we can validate them, we can absolutely stand by them. And I hear them in people all the time, and all it is them taking steps back. And it's their limiting beliefs. If every limiting belief is a brick, and they show up in front of you, is it natural to plough through the wall or take a step back? And naturally what we do is take a step back. Does anybody know where your limiting beliefs come from? Imagine mum's in the kitchen and toddlers building with building blocks, having a lovely time. Oh, furry friend. Oh, tickly furry friend. I like this furry. Oh, two eyes, nice. Oh, lovely. And mum comes in from the kitchen and goes, ah! What happens to the child? Mum's limiting belief of spiders is now the child's automatic feeling and thought about spiders. So many, if you think about the limiting beliefs that you have within you, where have you heard them before? They're not yours. So just recognise, it's not about curing them all right now, it's recognising when they show up, just think, aha, I know what you are, and I'm going to plough forward. I trained as a fire walking instructor. I had this great honour of doing a fire walk. I was asked to run a fire walk for 100 army officers, engineering corps that had just come back from Afghanistan. And I was part of their 4-day leadership programme in conjunction with Sandhurst only last month. And I went through all of that stuff. Am I going to be good enough for them? Are they going to listen to me? Are they going to enjoy it? And you know, it was an incredible experience, because what I recognised about them was that they were into doing mode, action, but not action with intention. And how often do we get caught in doing? We're in a recession, we must do more, we must keep doing, we must keep taking action. But if we were to take action with intention, and I'll tell you what that means in a moment, then you will create magical results. Everything has to serve a purpose. So the arrow break that we do, so we put the pointy bit there and the back bit, and what we do is we step into it and break it. Now, doing that would seem absolutely pointless, but when you give it a purpose, it has such a powerful effect on you. The arrow represents limiting beliefs. So then when you break the arrow, when you know all the limiting beliefs that are attached to your goal and you break the arrow, you break through those limiting beliefs in your mind. The other thing that we do, does anybody know what a reinforcement bar is? So a reinforcement bar, I have them cut 6 foot long, 10 millimetres diameter. What you do is you put one end in Sammy's throat, one end in mine. You cannot just bend it. No way can you bend it. And we have an absolute clear outcome, something that we're really passionate about achieving, something that our heart desires. And then we breathe to 3 and we bend it, and we bend it in half. But bending it alone without focus doesn't work. The interesting thing with the guys from the army was, I had the 100 guys stood around the room whilst I picked up the bar and I said, who wants to bend this bar with me? This guy came forward. We had this common purpose. We breathed to 3. We got absolutely connected and we bent it. Next bar got up. 2 guys come together. They couldn't bend it. Why couldn't they bend it? Because they were just in doing mode rather than intention, action with intention. So then the fire walk. The fire walk itself. Now, same action, two different ways of doing it, 2 different results. So if you have absolute focus, and when you walk over with a real sense of purpose and certainty, which you want to do in your business, to go and claim your business and your business success, then you don't burn your feet. Then what happens is, the second time round, people think, I never felt anything. Walk over, burn the feet. Work as much on yourself as you do on your business. So whatever you're doing, and I could talk to you about selling and marketing, but you don't really want to hear that from me. What you want to hear about is something that you can go away and do immediately, which is to consider that whatever you're working on at that moment, where it's filling a form in, whether it's updating your website, think about the end result and what it means to you. Think about the purpose and intention rather than just the action, and then that will create incredible results. Number 1 is know exactly what you want. See in detail, absolute detail. Number 2 is to believe in it. 3 is to take action with intention. And number 4 is commitment. You knock any one of those out, you won't achieve your goal. It will collapse. So 100% commitment, which is why when I set up my business, I didn't do part-time doing sales and then part-time on the business. I did it 100%. And commitment isn't doing an action list. Commitment's putting both feet in and not thinking about plan B. Because if you've got a plan B, what percentage is in plan A and what's in plan B? And where's your focus? 100% in plan A, no excuses, step forward with certainty. We'll do that with the arrow. Right, your part to play is to say Puma. Now I'll just demonstrate it. Puma, there is a reason for it. Puma is a black cat. It has incredible focus. We all know the black cat in the wild, don't we? It has incredible focus because if it doesn't, it won't survive. So we have to have a word that creates an energy and you all feel part of it. Puma, 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 Puma. Well done.